Good morning. Welcome to Remembering How It Was. I'm Justin Washington, and I'm with my sister
Wambui Bahati here in New York City. We like to say we are two of four siblings from Greensboro, North Carolina. We grew up at 615 Julian Street. I wonder if the people who live in that house, if they ever heard me keep giving out their address, they would be kind of like upset. We are from 615 Julian Street. And remembering how it was, my brother and I decided to do this podcast just as the title says, to remember how it was. Life is changing so quickly. History is changing, which it shouldn't, but it seems like it's being rewritten a little bit. And a lot of really important information is being lost. And so we just wanted to do these podcasts to pass on our memories from growing up in the 1950s. I was born in 1950. My brother was born in 1957. So we're going to do the 50s. We remember the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s growing up in Greensboro, North Carolina. So each week we try to choose a topic. This week we kind of have two topics going. You want to, what are we talking about, brother?
We're gonna attempt to talk about manners. And we just decided a couple minutes ago, before we start the show, to talk a little bit about hair and and how it was.
How it was. Yes. So I had mentioned to my brother that perhaps a topic would be manners and respect. I think we've touched on those topics in previous podcasts, but we just wanted to. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is I was in a store and I noticed that in the store, the person was moving a rack of clothes and they were expecting me to get out of their way. So, which, I know is courtesy. That's called courtesy. But so many times when I'm in the stores or out and about or in a place picking up food or whatever, the people, there's no, like when we were young, it seemed like people were, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, how can I serve you? And today people have whole transactions where they never talk. It's like you get to them, it's like, and then you say, oh, I would like to, I'm interested in that suitcase that's over there. Okay. May I open it? So then you open it, then you say, oh yeah, okay, this looks good. So how much is this? Oh, okay. And they don't talk.
You know what? I'm gonna have to bring this up because you took it to that side. We were recently in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And we went to you needed a pair of pants or something like that.
Right.
So we went to a couple of stores. We went to I think belts and a couple other places and you wanted some customer service. You wanted some help. And everybody was like, nobody. It's like they didn't help. They didn't reach out to help. They used to say, "May I help you?" and put you in a direction. But now they just say, "You need some help." Oh, it's over there.
Oh yeah, it's over there. Like not even like. I know when I was a salesperson in several stores. You take the person to that, or if that's not your department, you at least walk up to the department and then you say, "Hey, Sally, can you help them?" Like that. But now there's none of that. Yes, because we were teasing. We finally went to a store where the lady was so helpful. We said, "Oh my God, they would not like you over there."
Yeah, they wouldn't like you over there.
Because you're about customer service. You're about customer service. And I guess that's. But it's very rare. I'm not saying that all people like that, and but it's just that there is a change in how those things were done, where it used to people would greet you, hello, good morning, is there anything I can help you with? And now everybody just stands back and you as the customer has to approach them, and sometimes they don't even understand it. When you say good morning, it's like,
yeah, yeah.
whoa. I mean, I even worked in an office building where I was a temp. My job was to get there before everybody else so I could buzz them in. And these were, I would say good morning, and they would look at me like, what's wrong with her? It's like, good morning. Go ahead, brother. What?
No, I was thinking about this guy, a good friend of mine. We were in the service together, and I have never been to California, but he was from like L.A. or Long Beach, somewhere like that. Anyway, I was asking him, but how, I knew the gangs. Everybody know of gangs. I know of gangs. I really don't know gang culture, but I know of gangs. Anyway, but I asked him, how do you just to survive walking down the street? He said, he's just don't make eye contact. I said, what? He said, yeah, when you walk, you just don't make eye contact, and your day just goes. I'm like, but as we talked about before, we are groomed to say, how you doing?
Yes, we say.
So I'll probably if in his environment, I'll probably get beat up every day because I'm like, how you doing?
Yeah. Yes, it's like you got to put those blinders on and just go. Like, I'm learning that I do that in here in New York. I just try not to look. And those guys that hang on the corners. There's in New York there's. I guess you have that too, where it's like certain corners where it seems like that's where the guys just hang out. That's just that's what they do. They just hang out. And so I try not, but I tell you what, anytime a guy says, hey lady, I go, hey, because, here's the thing. I'm thinking that I never know when I might need that guy. You know what I mean? So I don't want him to be mad at me. So, a lot of feminists say if a guy says, hey, you look good today, that's insult. It's like, hey lady, you look good today. Thank you. And you just keep, but I'm going to acknowledge that I'm not going to be offended that you say, hey, can I talk to you? No, not today. And I'm going to keep going. But I'm not going to not acknowledge you because there may be one day when I need you. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't want to turn nobody off. It's like
that's different. That's really different from the South because in New York, like I know, you go to the subway, you got to pass by a lot of things. But in the South, more likely you have a car, so you don't have to really deal with that. Yeah. So that's like I said, because like I know the times I spent in New York, I'm always on full alert because I don't know what's happening. And like I said, I haven't been up there long enough to spend a long enough time in the period. I never quite felt comfortable there because there's so much moving. And not that down here is boring or anything. It's just that you get in your car, you go to where you have to go, and your day is over. You put your groceries in your car.
That's the difference. I forgot about the car factory because I'm here. I don't have a car. Most of the people I know, there are a few people that have cars, but most of the time, even if you have a car, you're going to take the train because you're not guaranteed you can park when you get wherever you're going. So people save their car for when they're leaving the city. Into the city, we take the train. But I forgot about that. So yes, because we're walking, we're passing by all these people. We're walking through just like the pictures, the images that you see on the news from California and different big cities. Sometimes you got to step through the people who are on the ground from the drugs and all this. And so, but I try my best not to be that person who they can say, she wouldn't even speak to me. What's wrong with you? I'm going to speak to you because I never know when I might need you. So I'm going to hi. It's like, okay, hi. Yeah. In fact,
what we do have here, and I don't know that I think we lost our topic, but what we do have here,
we did.
In driving, and I come off a highway, off an intersection, there's always somebody there with a sign saying something.
Okay.
They need help, and I'm to the point now that I'm over it. I'll look at them, I'll talk to them, so I don't give anything. I'll just look at them and talk to them. Man, how you doing, man? The guy just tell me. I found a lot of those guys. they just want to speak to you, and I'll speak to them because like I just not gonna be just sitting at a stop sign for 30 seconds staring at my radio, staring, staring at whatever.
I hear
So I'm
you.
to the point. I'm to the point now. I say, "How you doing, man?" And he'll tell me a story. Not like the light change. Oh, gotta go. But every
Because
group, every group. Go ahead.
I was lost yesterday. I don't go to Queens a lot, and I was trying to find some place in Long Island City. I still don't know what that is. All respect to people who live in Long Island City, I just never traveled there, so I was trying to get there. Anyway, the whole point of me talking is because I kind of got lost, and this woman and I were trying to figure out where we're going, and these two guys came over, and they seemed like they knew what they were talking about, and they were helping her get on the right train, and they were trying to give me a little bit of direction. And then finally, just out of the blue, the guy said, "You know, I used to be a singer. Me and him, we used to be in a group." And I said, "What group you used to be in?" He said, "Yeah, you ever heard of the Chords? That does sound familiar, but I'm not sure." But he said, "We were the Chords," and he gave me his card, and that was what he wanted to say. Because he never gave me any directions. But he wanted to talk to somebody, and he wanted to tell me that he'd been a part of a singing group that had done very well, the Chords, which sounds familiar. I'm not sure. I'm going to look it up, but I used to run it. See, we're just going way off topic, because
I know.
I used to run into this guy who was an ink spot. You've heard the ink spots are familiar, right? Yeah, he was an ink spot, and when these guys get older down, well, people might say that about me. It's like, yeah, she used to be somebody, but now she just walks the street of Harlem. but these guys, there are a lot of guys that used to be part of very famous groups, or they were, they had a hit record and stuff like that. And so every now and then I run into them, and they want to share their story with me. And so I let them tell their story, because that's what they need to do, is they need to let me know, I'm not just a bum out here. I used to, do some things, and I'm about to tear up.
Well, let me tell you something that I experienced this past weekend. I'm a member of, down in Greensboro, I'm a member of this VFW post, Veterans of Foreign Wars. And we this past weekend, we got permission to set up at a Food Line store. And what I mean by set up, we have all our colors and things like that. We have our VFW shirts on, and we sit there. We do accept donations to help veterans or helps our causes, whatever. But we don't ask anybody. We have a donation bucket there, but we mainly sit there for information. And we're sitting outside Food Line, and normally when people are outside the Food Line, they're always telling, "Hey, buy this, come look at this." But we don't say anything. We just want you to notice us. And then they notice it. They say, "Who are you?" And we say, "We are veterans, and we have a direction that we go and help veterans or whatever." And people will tell us their stories, tell us about their grandfathers, and they donate a little money. They just want to hear somebody talk. But the thing was, we were joking amongst ourselves that these people are not used to anybody not begging, because we just sit there. If you notice us, you notice us.
And also, just
listening
to their story, just listening to. Sometimes they just want to tell you something. You something. They need to tell you something.
I guess that has something to do with courtesy, because we just sat this organization, we about 4 or 5 guys, we just sat there, and somebody approach us, we would tell them our story, and then I would open them up, and they felt good.
Yes. So we finally got the word courtesy back in there. But so you know what, too, brother, let's share a little bit about Nashville. I suppose we should have said this before we left, but sometimes I don't feel like sharing too much, because it sounds like I sound a little, I don't know, I don't feel prideful, but I feel like, oh, she just bragging, she just saying. But
let me brag for you then. Okay, my sister, she's an amazing actress, and she has wrote a couple of one-woman shows. One, and it's called Balancing Act. But this past week, we went to Memphis, Tennessee, and they called this show Yeah, I can't remember. What's the name of the book?
The conference, you mean? The
Yeah,
conference? The
you,
conference
you don't
was
know.
the.
You don't know crazy. The
Oh,
name of
they
the book. I'm
named it
sorry.
You Don't Know
The-
Crazy. That's what they call the
You don't
show.
know crazy. And
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna throw a cheap plug. We said we weren't gonna do this. I'm gonna do it anyway. Some years back, my sister wrote a book, and I had the pleasure of being the publisher. And so now, yeah, I'm throwing everything out there. And the play was on some struggles that she had
Mental
in the
health. It was
past.
about mental health. Mm-hmm.
But she had some in the past, and how she overcame some things and the things she saw going through struggles, and so she was able to put, like, we're doing this show to tell her history. She wrote the book to tell her history, and so it's on Amazon. Anyway, it's out
No,
there.
it's
and,
gonna
and
be we're gonna I don't know how we got way over here, but I
yeah,
just thought we should
yeah,
say why we weren't here for the
yeah,
last 2 weeks.
yeah.
But yeah, I was invited to Nashville to do a show that for a mental health conference, and the show is a show where it's my story of going before, during, after, and beyond my mental health issues. And so that's why we were away. We were down in Nashville, and I was so happy that my brother, he just came on his own dime to be there to support me. And I was so happy that he did that. And, he didn't know I was going to do this, but at the end of the show, I introduced him, and I told the audience that the reason why I felt like they would appreciate this introduction and who this person was. And I said, when I was back in Greensboro and I was at my lowest, my brother, Justin, had just retired from the Army, and he was working for the Sheriff's Department. Now, I don't know if you'll get this, but the mental health audience got this. I said, so I don't know a lot of things, but I do know that if you've ever dealt with a mental illness, oh, you want to have a friend in the Sheriff's Department. And the audience got it. They burst out applause, and I introduced them to my brother. I said he was my friend in the Sheriff's Department, and that is so true, that if you are really dealing with severe mental illness, oh man, you want somebody. You're gonna cross the Sheriff's Department at some point, and you're gonna want a friend there. So that's that audience really got it, and I'm so appreciative that he came to support me, and I'm really happy, which is really why I wanted to bring this up, is that my brother drove all the way from Greensboro, North Carolina, to Nashville, just outside of Nashville, Murfreesboro, and so I just. I'm so happy and blessed to have a brother like him and a family like the family that I have. Okay, now we were talking about.
Let's talk a little bit about hair. I'm just taking it in because we said we was going to do this. So
okay, okay, go ahead. No, you go. You were going to say something.
Back in the day, because my heyday was the 70s. And so in the 70s, the big thing was the afros. Everybody wore the afros. And I personally, I really couldn't wear. I mean, my hair wouldn't grow for so long. I had a TWA, a teeny weeny afro. Anyway, so I had my thing. It came about maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches long, and I was quite proud of my TWA. But I couldn't grow a Michael Jackson. I couldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about hair because, I have no shame. I wear wigs at this point in my life, and I like. And people say, you're a lot of young people will say, oh, they're just wearing those wigs because they're ashamed of their hair. They're ashamed of their. No, I did that. I think I had dreads. I think I had locks when nobody was rocking locks. Boy, did I get it, because whoa, it was rough. But I love my natural hair, and I'm just going to be full disclosure right here. It's so thin at the top that I can't do anything with it really. So that's why I wear the wig. Now, maybe it's because of all the stuff I was doing before, because when we were little, we did the hair pressing, right, with the hot. Well, you didn't, but the girls got their hair pressed with the hot comb,
I
and
watched and smelled.
and it was a lot for my family anyway at that time. And I know that there were different families who were different, but for the most part, people wanted their hair to be straight. They didn't want the natural look, or what they used to say, kinky hair. So people would straighten their hair with the hot comb, and not go in the water, not go near water, because that would make it, kink up again. And so it wasn't until, and also I think one time we talked about when two girls from Dudley did show up at school with afros, and they were sent home because nobody knew how to deal with that. And this was in the late 60s that this happened. But we were hearing about the afros and Afro sheen and all this stuff. And so, but, few people were brave enough to try that in high school. But as soon as we left high school, it seemed like, okay, I graduated in 68. And by then it was like pretty much accepted, 68, 69, 70. By then the Afro was acceptable. And it was, it showed that, your pride in yourself and in, your God-given hair. And it was a beautiful thing. And then over somewhere in there, though, okay, remember that movie with Eddie Murphy, Coming to America? There's a scene where the guy has the sprayed, he has the afro, some kind of oil on his head. Jerry curl. Yeah, we went through the Jerry curl. There was something called a California curl. And these were all chemicalized curls that took away the afro part, but still kept, it was chemical curls. It was chemical curls. But to keep it looking shiny, you had to put this oil on it. Afro sheen and all different kinds of this oil. And there's this movie scene in Coming from America where this guy is sitting back on this chair, and when he gets up, he leaves the imprint of his oil.
The whole family.
The whole family there. Leave all this oil behind, And so, and today, I had told my brother that when I was riding the subway yesterday, I was thinking about now there's a lot of afros and they look beautiful. But there's also a lot of, I was just trying to add up how much weave I saw, the weave and the front lace wigs, but especially the weave, because now it's getting longer and longer. Like you used to just braid it here, then it got here. All right. Yeah. So now it like, I don't know if that's in North Carolina and New York. Like it seemed like it's got to be below your behind. It's like below your butt. That's where it's at now. I'm not saying it don't. It look good, but it's a lot of, it's a lot of hair.
It's a lot of mileage of hair and a lot of mileage of eyelashes.
Eyelashes, yeah. And so now let's see. I think when I was in. Because I think when I went to my prom, I wore eyelashes, but it wasn't a thing. But I just wanted to do it because I wanted to do it because it wasn't a thing. And so I think I had some eyelashes, and And I think when I went to be in the theater, every now and then I would sport some lashes. But now it's a everyday thing. Everybody has these really thick, and some of them were really, really thick. These really thick lashes. I'm just observing. I'm not condemning or condoning. I'm just saying how it's different.
It's noticeable. It's noticeable because I know growing up, aging, I've seen women with eyelashes, and you would notice them. But now it's the fact that it's not only you see them because they like this long.
Oh yeah, and they get longer and longer, and so it's kind of like the braids that they get longer and longer. Now the lashes are getting longer and longer, and again, I'm just observing. I know, I rock what I need to rock. You rock what you need to rock.
Yeah.
But
go
ahead.
My grandson, he had these. He grew some locks, and they was really long, and he was loving them. I think they really look good on him, but he did something in a math class, and his punishment, he had to lose his hair. Talk about a
Are you
depressed
kidding
kid.
me?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh no.
but you know, his hair is growing back, and
Well,
I'm
that
like
was
this.
serious.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
grow your hair, man. Do what, because I feel like I appreciate my grandson hair. Wear them in the styles you can, because one day, if you got my gene, one day you're gonna get a
You got
haircut,
my.
and it's not gonna grow back. so,
That's
so
right.
grow it. It's your hair, grow it. Do what you gotta do. I'm
Yes,
not saying
yes, yes.
yeah,
Now,
that
I tell you
haircut is
what, I
one,
tell you
one
what,
haircut.
I'll tell you what, brother. And well, we only have a little bit, a few minutes, but
Yeah.
I this past October, I got baptized,
Uh-huh.
and so they dip you in the water, and so my kids are saying, you gonna wear your wig to get baptized? And I said, well, they said, what if you come off, ain't nobody else gonna get in there? And I'm like, oh, so that was the one time I had to figure out how to pull his hair back. I'll try to insert the picture if we have to. Pull his hair back so I could get baptized, because I didn't want my wig to float off or people to be
Yeah.
scared. But since that time, I've been seeing all kinds of baptisms with wigs on, so I guess
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
want to say one
so,
thing about wigs. I want to say this one thing about wigs. I work out at
okay.
Dubai a lot, and a lot of ladies, like I'm an older guy, so a lot of ladies my age and older, they wear them like I always wear a ball cap, but they wear them wigs like they on the treadmill, they walk in laps, they doing the little classes, they be wearing them
Uh-huh.
wigs, man. I say, man, y'all, but then again, I wear a ball cap to catch whatever perspiration I
Right,
have.
right.
I guess they got a gym wig.
Okay. You know what? That's a good invention for us. A gym wig where on the inside is some kind of terry cloth to absorb. Hey, okay, all right, we're gonna work on that. And on that note, brother, I think we'll say, we're gonna try to get Sigmund Ship for the next show. Sigmund Ship.
Oh yeah.
He knows a lot about he knows a lot about Greensboro and the infrastructure and what was going on and things that happened at certain times. And so I have asked him if he would like to be on, and he said he would. So it's a matter of now just finding a time where he's on, where we can both be there with him.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you all.
Anyway,
On that note,
bye-bye. Thank you for watching.
peace.